Hey Glenn fam! I heard your voice get all fucked up. Drink some water. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hamna.
And I'm Danish.
And together we are
Hamnish.
So today we're going to be talking about the different realities that young couples face. So I put together a list of topics that you guys helped me out with on my Instagram. So we're going to just go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so the first topic is going to be how the pandemic has changed our lives. My life has been really shitty this entire year, and I'm sure everybody can agree to that. How has the pandemic changed your life?
Other than working from home, I don't think nothing else has technically changed. Outside of, you know, seeing Hamna every day literally from morning to night, the entire time pretty much. But it's actually nice because when I work from home, we get to at least have lunch together. We take, you know, car rides out for lunch or coffee or something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's pretty much it. You can't really see people and whatnot. Everything is just so virtual. It's just like, it's not real.
The new
it's
norm.
Just weird, yeah.
Well, I can say that I've become a Zoom expert. In the beginning, it was like, I still remember when we first went into lockdown in March. And it was like a week after his mom's birthday, and that was the last family gathering that we knew that we would probably have because we didn't know what was happening.
We knew,
and
but
almost
a whole year passed.
Yeah, a whole year passed, and I feel like we haven't really seen many people. Like, after some time we did start seeing family and stuff again, but in the beginning there was some time where we weren't seeing our parents, we weren't seeing anyone.
No.
We haven't indoor dined at all. The only time we indoor dined was over the summer when we did outdoor seating every time.
Yeah.
And until like, even now, every time we go out to restaurants and stuff, it's takeout, and we'll sit in the car, and you guys probably know if you follow me on Instagram, we have our car night dinner dates all the time. I mean,
our car is dirty as hell now.
It's so dirty. There's food, there's fries. I just found fries like under the seat.
Today I found a piece of rice. It's just a grain of rice on Hamna's seat.
Why my seat?
Oh no.
It's definitely been really weird. And then seeing Danish every day, and let me tell you, at first I was like, oh my god, yay, Danish is home. We're gonna spend so much time together. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be like...
That's not true.
No, in the beginning I was so
we
happy.
expected that, but that's not really what
happened. After a few months, I was like, ugh, it's you again. Like, I would come downstairs and like Danish is here in the kitchen just doing shit, and then I hear him on the phone all the time, like at work in his meetings and stuff, and it would just piss me off. Like, why are you so loud? And then also, okay, I don't know if this is a thing. Do people have work voice? Because I know Danish has a work voice and I have a work voice too.
Yo, it's a whole different person.
No, really, it's a whole different personality in general.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying it because Danish has a different voice with people than he does with me. So it's like, I don't know, is that a thing? If you're a couple and you have a different voice for your significant other, is that a thing? Because like, it is a thing for us. Not like a whole different voice, I just mean like the tone is different, if that makes sense. So for like working from home, so I know in some jobs, working from home isn't an option. You had to go to work and you had to like physically be there the entire time. Like if you work at a store or in retail, maybe in the beginning things were closed, but those opened up. But like for Danish's job, and like I know a lot of people's job, they're saying that they want people to continue to work from home even after the pandemic. And honestly, like, I don't know how to feel about that, because it's like, dude, that won't
really
affect
it's
me,
because she's gonna see me all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna affect Danish. What are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to separate your work life from your home life if you're working from home all the time? What I do is working from home, but that can be so gloomy sometimes, because you have to hold yourself accountable. Like, how do you know you're being productive? How do you know you're not wasting your time? For me, I feel like that. And also, like, I'm a night person, so I work the best at nighttime. And so it's good to have, you know, flexible times and hours. But again, if you're working from home all the time, there's no sense of like 9 to 5. It's like when you log in, that's it, you're working for the rest of the day. And I know that people feel like they've been working longer because they're working from home.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, they're home, so we might as well ask them. Like, ever since Danish started working from home this year, I've noticed that he's been working more, like all day long.
Yeah, it's been constant. Like,
yeah.
I feel like, you know, a basic 8-hour day has turned into an easy 10 to 12 hours because just the fact that we're available, because the idea is that you're home, and the thing is, you can't go out, nobody can go out, so at the end of the day, people are going to expect you to respond because they know that you can't go anywhere. Now, another thing I like about the pandemic, at least with us, is we get lots of nap times. It's kind of, you know, I'll take a lunch break, or, you know, I'll just go take a nap, and it's like, I'll just go tell him, I'm like, yeah, I'm taking a nap. 5 minutes later, Hamna will be in bed. Like, just 5 minutes later, I'll just see her come in. Hamna will come downstairs, and she's like, what are you doing? I was like, taking a nap. She's like, I'm gonna take a nap too. And I was like,
so what is it like being married to me, a content creator, Danish? And then I'll answer what it's like being married to you as an IT guy. Danish is my personal it man, as I like to call him.
Being married to a digital creator slash makeup artist is intense. She knows exactly why she's laughing. Literally everything. I'll just say it.
You can blast me.
I'll blast you.
Just say it.
Everything has to be perfect. Okay? She said you win. Alright, let me tell you. Alright, so every setting, every background, every lighting, every outfit, I mean every look, stare, smile, everything has to be perfect. And I've never been into social media as much like I used to be back in the day, but I kind of died down with work.
Danish barely ever took selfies.
Yeah, so. Right. There was a time where I used to do it a lot, with like Instagram was like a thing back in the day. I mean, it still is, but when it first came out, like it was a thing. I literally used to post every day.
Yeah, it was a thing to just post.
Now, like people go on my Instagram, it's like you'll see me post months after months after months, and it's kind of funny because like
individuality, Danish.
Well, that's because like I don't really look to social media as much as obviously Hamna does, because that's her thing, right? For me, it's like it's not even a hobby. It's just past my time, free time. So being married to her, it's like it's an adjustment where it's like I have to adjust to the fact that I have to stay on top of my game too, because I gotta stay on the same track as her. But it's kind of funny because like I think within time, when Hamna first started and now where she is, like I've become more used to it, where normally
you're
like
I'm open now. That's why you're here on this video.
Well, I mean, I'm more open to the fact where sometimes like I'll tell him now, like, oh, this is gonna be a nice picture, we should do this, and she'll just be like, oh, nice idea. Yeah,
like he's developed his own visions now, which I'm actually very proud of. So,
thank you. Yeah, and it's not easy, I'll tell you that, but that comes with time, because the thing is, I gotta sometimes see things with Hamna's eye, with Hamna's vision.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
come
that's
on,
not easy.
No,
that's
it's not saying that I always.
Hamna says, okay. WWHD, okay, which means what would Hamna do, okay? And I kind of adapted to that, where we would go out, I would think of like, oh, we should do a picture here, and sometimes like Hamna won't even be in the mood to take a picture, and I'm just like, no, like you look good today, just fucking take a picture. It's also fun too, because we like when Hamna comes out with like random ideas and whatnot. I like to be involved, because it's like, all right, I have to push her and motivate her, because sometimes she'll come up with an idea and she'll just be like, nah, that's not gonna do anything, and I'm like, nah, it will, right? So I gotta push her, because it's like she gets the perfection idea and I'm like, no, just do it raw, it doesn't matter, So yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as me.
Yeah, that's
being married to a digital creator.
What about my moods? You should talk about them a little bit.
Alright, so her moods. So depending on Hamna's mood, it kind of all depends, it kind of shapes the day pretty much. I've seen, Hamna get stressed out about, so many things, and, all the effort that she puts into her projects and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people who, follow their passion, it's all about, perfection. And Hamna is that kind of person, and, people don't realize that, but that takes a lot of hard work and a lot of motivation. And like I said before, like there's so many times where I have to motivate Hamna, where it's like ideas come together, and ideas are not easy, right?
Yeah,
I think
content creating is not easy.
I'll just say that straight up. It's not easy.
For me, it's like my own expectations for myself, it's hard to meet them. And so that's why it's a lot of pressure. The world might be ending soon, and I just want to be able to say that I did what I wanted to do. I really just do this for fun, and also I like to think of it as like memories. So it's like whatever YouTube videos I'm posting and stuff, it's like my memories of myself and my life when I was this age. Okay, so there's some questions I'm gonna ask Danish that I feel like might be interesting for you guys to hear his answer on. So one of them is gonna be, because we got married when we were both really young. So I was still in school, I wasn't working at the time. So did you think that I was always gonna be like a digital creator? Did you think that I would ever want to do something else? And how did you feel when I first started consistently making videos and uploading content and stuff?
So when we first got married, Hamna was already making YouTube videos around that time. She was also going to school, and then when we got married and we moved in together, the videos kind of slacked off and she just started focusing all her energy into school. But you know, when she graduated, I told her, I was like, hey, like, you know, I think you should pursue your YouTube career, and you want to, you know, you want to do content creation, you want to do makeup stuff, you know, go for it. And she was a little bit hesitant because, I mean, you know, coming out of, you know, graduating and doing that, there's a lot of pressure,
yeah.
Right? You literally are expected to get that degree and go get a full-time job.
I feel like I was in a shell during that time, and like when I graduated, it was like, okay, it's time to come out of my shell now. Right. And Danish was definitely that push. So a lot of you guys may not know this, but if it wasn't for Danish when I graduated college, I wouldn't be making YouTube videos, because first of all, my graduation gift from Danish was the camera that we're recording on right now.
Yep.
But also he was just like, okay, Hamna, you've been pushing it aside for so long. I know that you wanted to make YouTube videos. Here's the camera, start making your videos. So
and she was just like, what?
I was like, what? Seriously?
What?
Is this happening?
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like, you know, do it, try it out and see how, you know, how it goes.
Yeah.
And you know, there came times where it was like, yeah, you know, I don't know if I want to do this and this, and I was like, no, you keep going.
Yeah,
you know,
I was like,
keep
I don't
going,
know
no
if
matter
this is for
what
me.
it is.
And like, you know, there's a lot of pressure in this industry. I have like so many mental breakdowns every single day. It's not even funny, but it makes me feel good when I sit in front of my mirror and I do my makeup. It's like that simple. I feel good, it makes me happy, it's my outlet, it's my escape, and that's what I do.
You know, I mean, a lot of people can relate, they can connect, you know, they can learn, they can get inspired. And that takes a lot of pressure, but a lot of hard work at the same time. So, what is it like being married to an IT person?
Well,
or the it man?
Danish is my it man. What is it like being married to him? Let me just tell you guys one thing, okay? IT guys are boring as hell. Danish knows this. Okay, no, but seriously, Danish is always the serious one. He's literally always like, okay, we have to do this, we have to do this. Like, come now, take this seriously. Like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, chill out, yo. Can you just relax? You're stressing me out.
Take a chill pill.
Yeah, but no, it's funny though because we're so opposite. But I feel like Danish, for an IT guy, he can be fun if he's surrounded.
Every once in a while.
If he's surrounded by the right people, aka me, he can be a fun person. I'm gonna just tell you, ladies, listen to me. If you're dating an IT guy or you're about to marry an IT guy, he will never have time for you. He's always gonna be on call, okay? Especially if he's working on some sort of a VPN, okay? He's always gonna be busy. If there's a problem, if you have a problem in your home, for example, if your microwave isn't working or something, okay? He's gonna sit there all day and all night trying to fix it. And even if it can't be fixed, he's gonna try every freaking possible way to fix it, because that's what he does.
Anything I start, I have to finish.
Yeah.
I don't stop in the middle. It's just something I've always done my whole life.
I don't know about IT guys, but I'm going to tell you about my IT guy. He, like, his emotional level has grown since being married to me. Before that, he didn't know how to share his emotions. He didn't know how to express himself properly, and I feel like, I don't know if that's like a Virgo Gemini thing, because Danish is a Gemini and I'm a Virgo, and you know, I actually truly believe in the personality traits of horoscopes, because Danish is like a Gemini to the T, and I'm a Virgo to the T.
Yes.
So, like, I don't know if that's like a you thing or just like, you know, an IT guy thing. But yeah, that's...
What's the thing?
What?
You never said the thing. You just kept giving examples, but you never said the thing. Yo, that was the best. I'm just sitting here waiting. Okay, the thing. Say the fucking thing already.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Oh, that part's getting cut out.
Danish, he never knows how to express himself, so I feel like, I don't know, maybe he's like closed off. Like, you're like just lost in your work. It's hard for you to snap out of it. Like, if I'm trying to talk to you and have like a conversation and get your input about stuff, I need to hear your emotions, what you're feeling and stuff. You don't do that. It's like, I don't know, is that just a Danish thing or like an IT guy thing?
I think that's just general. I mean, I've gotten better periodically, not so great still.
I feel like you got better now being married, because it's like,
yeah,
it could translate into bad communication.
Yeah.
And I really, like, for communication stuff, I push you out of the box for it. Like, talk to me. I want to talk about your feelings. I want to talk about my feelings. Like, I'm such a talker. Like, if there's a problem, I want to talk about it.
Not a lot of people would
like,
see that, but who is a talker?
No, I'm such a talker. Like, with issues and stuff. And especially, like, dude, if there's a problem, we need to have a meeting.
If I'm focusing on one thing, then I close off everything around it, right? And it's like with work, with, you know, different projects and things like that.
Yeah,
it's
with
like,
anything,
it's all about
not just
anything.
work. Yeah, like if we're doing something, he'll just be so into it. Like, he can't think of anything else except that. If you're on call one weekend, and you're like, oh, it's fine, I'm on call, but we're gonna hang out, we're gonna go do this, we're gonna do that, whatever, right? But you're not mentally gonna be there with me.
Yeah.
You're always gonna think, okay, I'm on call, I need to worry about if this happens, what am I gonna do with work? That. Like, you're never mentally there. So for me, that's what it's like being married to an IT guy. Like, Danish is mentally sometimes not there. I have to try to bring him. Be like, come on,
here right now.
Let's do this. Like, come on. But
and even like sometimes, like even on call weekends, like I'll be the one to make the plans, and I'll be like, yo, we're gonna go out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, cool.
But I know he's only saying that because
I feel bad, because I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna, you know, we're not gonna spend the weekend together just because I'm on call and this and that. So I kind of push that. But again, she's right. At the back of my mind, I'm like, holy shit, I just hope this doesn't happen or this doesn't happen. Okay, so the next topic that we're going to talk about is roles in a Pakistani marriage. So you guys asked us to cover this one. Juicy.
It's juicy, so... Well, it's not that juicy because I'm just telling you like general roles. The number one, like most traditional role is to be the perfect bahu, okay? Now, I don't know what the definition of a perfect bahu is. Do you know what the definition?
I don't think anyone does.
I
think the bahus chase that forever.
If you ask somebody from like the older generation, they're gonna tell you that the perfect bahu is somebody who serves her entire husband's family, just adapts and does everything in order to please them. So I just want to put a disclaimer, I'm not trying to bash anybody. We're not trying to bash anybody who has a specific role in their marriage or thinks or has like an ideal image of what a perfect Pakistani marriage should look like. I'm just telling you based off of my own personal experience and opinions. There's so many expectations in general and pressures in general, no matter where you are, what your thinking is, being in a Pakistani marriage. So when I first got married, my sister-in-law actually gave me this speech at our wedding, and it basically, I'm just gonna sum it up because I feel like this is like the best thing that I've heard of regarding roles in a Pakistani marriage. Basically, her speech was that when you get married, you're gonna have so many roles as a woman, okay? You are gonna feel the need to be the perfect wife, the perfect daughter, the perfect daughter-in-law, the perfect sister-in-law, the perfect aunt, pretty much the perfect everything. And so in my case, when I got married, not only did I become his wife, Danish's wife, but I also became a daughter-in-law, and then I also became a chachi, and I became a mommy. So a chachi is basically just like a, what is a chachi?
Brothers.
The brother's wife is called a chachi.
Right.
And then what's a mommy?
The sister's
This.
basically my sister's kids will call you.
Yeah, so I am his sister's kid's mommy. So I became that all at the age of 20. So, you know, to me, I was like, this is kind of weird. Like, I have some kids over here calling me chachi and mommy, and like, I'm not an auntie. Like, I felt like, you know, I'm old, even though
She wasn't used to it.
I wasn't used to it.
I became an uncle when I was 11.
I guess there's kind of like a fear where it's like, and it's because our moms put it in our head that, okay, when you go to your in-laws or when you get married, you're not gonna know how to cook, you're not gonna know how to clean. What are they gonna think of you? What are they gonna say about you if you don't know how to do any of these things? I was 20 years old, I never knew how to do my own laundry. I didn't cook, I didn't clean, I didn't do any of that shit. I didn't cook, I didn't clean, but honey, I still got that ring. Okay, I learned all that stuff after getting married. When you're young and you don't know how to do any of these things, even if you're older and you don't know how to do any of these things, it's fine. But I feel like the way that we were raised, a lot of our mothers like kind of trained us into this thinking where we need to know how to do these things because what are our in-laws gonna say? What is our husband gonna say? Before we even got married, I remember when we were talking, you asked me like, what do you want to be? Like, what are your plans or something like that? And I think I told you like, I want to be married within, I don't know, 5 years. I wanna.
And this was really this was like early on.
Yeah, this was early on, and I was already thinking like, okay, I want to be married within 5 years. I want to know what I'm doing. I want to have my own place. I want to like, you know, I just want to have all these rules basically that I saw around me because that's just how it was. My goals weren't, I want to become this, I want to do that. Like, you know, it's sad, but it's just something that I heard and saw and was basically, it was normalized for me because that was my training based off of our society and our culture. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that because, you know, if you want to be a housewife, if you want to work, if you want to do something, that's your choice. Don't let anybody tell you like, oh, you can't do that. You have to, if you get married, you have to sit at home and you have to start having kids right away. This pisses me off so much. When you get married and then you go to like some davat like a few months after or like a year after, they'll be like, so when are you having kids?
And you're like,
what? We just got married. Like, can you relax? First of all, it's none of your business, and second of all, why do Desi people, and I'm sure it's not just Desi people, but I have to say, why do Desi people, because I'm Desi and I only heard it from Desi
I don't think it's Desi people because I've heard so many other stories out of different cultures where it's very normal.
I just don't want Desi people to feel like I'm bashing them. Like, I'm Desi, I'm bashing my own people. It happens, but no.
Truth hurts. It's not people from your family.
Yeah, it's usually like, people from outside of the family.
Like, it makes no sense. It's like, who gave you the right to even ask that question? Like, it's not your business. Sometimes
it is people in your family.
Yep.
And for that, I just have to say that, like, you need to establish boundaries. When you first get married, establishing boundaries is something that's so important and very hard to do. We still struggle with that today. Just having boundaries of people around you. You need to be able to have a private life. If people are asking you these questions all the time, whenever you see them and you barely see them, you need to really reevaluate like who you're hanging around. Like, what kind of people are asking these questions.
I wouldn't call it a backward mentality, but I would call it more of a generational thing where I think that our previous generation, like the mentality and the mindset was you go to school, you graduate, you get married. And this is the guy's side, okay? For the girl's side, it would literally be, doesn't matter educations that or not, you get married and that's it.
Yeah, right? Make her have kids.
Right.
And if she doesn't have kids right away, there's something wrong with her.
Right, like that.
Does my dress look like a glasses cleaner to you?
No, but it could act like I'm just doing it right now.
I just want to re-emphasize to you guys that having boundaries with family in general is so important. If you guys have seen like our previous videos, we did a vlog in May of 2020, I think it was, where we talked about this stuff, and I'm just gonna bring back something from that video, like a topic about living with your in-laws, because in Pakistani marriages, usually the girl, when she gets married, she has to, you know, just pick up her whole life and move in with her husband and sometimes his family. So I want to talk about that. I feel like even in our generation though, it's still a thing, because I've actually heard of, and I know people who got married and they moved in with their husbands' families, not because they had to in terms of like financially, that they couldn't afford to live on their own, but because of the cultural thing. You know, there's a cultural aspect of the girl living with the husband's family. You know, if that's what you want to do, if that's something that you're okay with and you established before you got married that you're going to be living with your husband's family, you know what works best for you. But if you're forced and you weren't okay with this, say you got married under the false pretenses that, you know, the guy said that, oh, we're going to move out in a few months, or oh, this is just temporary, you know, like stuff that you hear. Okay, so the guy ends up taking care of his parents, and you know, that means the girl has to take care of his parents. It becomes her responsibility.
That's another role, by the way.
Yeah, that is a role. You know, it's the bahu's role to take care of her in-laws.
Yeah.
And it's fine if you want to do it willingly, but you shouldn't be forced to do it, is what I'm trying to say. If you do it out of the goodness of your heart because you feel like, you know, that's something that you would do, your husband shouldn't make you feel like, and not your husband, like his family shouldn't make you feel like this is what you have to do. For example, when you get married, is it expected of the guy to move in with the girl's family and do all those things and assume all those roles in the girl's family? No. So the same way, why is it that the girl has to adjust or has to compromise or have to, you know, basically change who she is in order to please the guy's family? You should be able to stay true to yourself. If you and your husband were friends or were dating before you got married, he fell in love with you the way you were before. So don't feel like you need to change who you are just because you're married.
It comes down to the point where it's like, okay, you know, the whole idea of, you know, you married into the family, right? I think that marriage, yes, marriage is sacred, marriage is between families, but at the end of the day, I think that your family is your spouse first, and then the rest comes afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think that that's not normalized as much as it should be. You're living with this person, you're going to be spending the rest of your life with this person. How are you going to put everybody else along with that one person?
Yeah.
When you're getting married, you should move in together, just you two. And you know, and if you can't, I personally think you shouldn't get married. I don't think you're ready yet.
Yeah.
Only because the only way you know that you're gonna understand this person is when you're living with them. Because like Hamna said, the expectations come in between. So if you're living with your parents, you're still putting on a front. You're not yourself, and you're not gonna stay true to yourself when you're living with someone else and not with your spouse only.
There's a lot of Desi people who go through this where you have to, like, the parents need somebody to take care of them. If there comes a point where your parents need you to take care of them, I'm not saying like, oh my God, don't live with them. I'm just saying that, you know, when you first get married, if you have a choice and you know that it's going to be hard for you to adjust to living with them, or your spouse to adjust to living with them, don't live with them. Like, it's that simple. Just have your own time, spend that time trying to get to know your spouse, and, you know, just enjoying being newlyweds. And then maybe later down the road, if you need to, and if they need that support, then you move them in or move in with them, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, to normalize the fact that you don't have to live with your in-laws. Like, you don't, especially not in the beginning. Okay, so for in-law drama, I'm not gonna go too much into detail for that, because I know everybody has in-law drama, or you might have your own family drama, which is somebody else's in-law drama. So in-law drama will always exist, no matter who you're married to. There's no such thing as like the perfect family dynamic, right? Everybody has their shit. So for in-law drama, all I have to say is stay out of it. Like, honestly, just stay out of it. Let the spouse whose side the drama's on, let them deal with it. For example, if I have something going on with my family, I wouldn't go and tell Danish like, oh my God, like, can you do this, can you do that for them? Because it's not his job. Like, it's not up to him. If he wants to do it because he chooses to willingly, then that's fine, and you know, it's appreciated. But I don't expect those things of him, the same way he doesn't of me. Like if he's having some shit with his family, I won't get involved. I'm not gonna say anything about it because it's not my job, it's not my place. And at the end of the day, you know your family best. So
you know how to handle it.
Yeah, you know how to handle it best. And I feel like you shouldn't ever put your spouse in a situation where they feel uncomfortable. And let's talk about how I married into a conservative family. So some of you guys may already know this. So for me, in the beginning, it was a huge adjustment, and I did see myself kind of changing who I was to kind of adjust and adapt into what I thought they expected me to be. They may not have had these expectations of me, but because of the roles and what, you know, we've been kind of trained into thinking, I felt like I needed to change who I was. And honestly, in the beginning, because of that, because of the changes that I made, they took a huge toll on our relationship. And I didn't really know at the time what Danish wanted. He was young too.
I don't think I knew what I wanted either.
Yeah, so my mother-in-law wears hijab, and before I got married, it was never a concern to me, but when I was talking to my parents about getting married to Danish, this concern did come up. My mom basically was telling me that, you know, when you get married to him, you're gonna have to change everything. You need to be able to adapt to him and his family. Do you think you would ever wear hijab? And I was like, no, I don't think I'm ready to, and I don't think Danish would ever force me to wear a hijab. And at the end of the day, that's between me and God. It has nothing to do with them.
And I think you and I had a conversation before that happened too, because we were on the same page at that point.
Yeah, it was just a discussion. Like,
yeah, it was a mutual discussion.
And I asked you because the concern came up, would you ever expect me to wear hijab, you know?
And that's when I told you, I was like that's not even, it's between you and God. It's not between anybody else.
Yeah, so my mom actually asked my mother-in-law, at the time we weren't married yet, so she asked before, and she was like, are you guys gonna make Hamna wear hijab? And my mother-in-law basically was like, no, like I would never tell Hamna to wear hijab. That's not something that we're gonna force her to do. That's between her and Danish. And even then, like, that's her decision. She just gave my mom the reassurance that it's none of her business and she would never force me to wear hijab. And so for me, like, luckily, I didn't have to deal with that. A lot of times, if you get married into a conservative family, this is something you have to talk about. You need to talk about what their expectations of you are, what your expectations of them are, and if family expectations are gonna be like a factor. From personal experience, from just general observation of couples around us, I've noticed this. And it's just a reality that a lot of young couples are gonna face. At the end of the day, no matter what your in-law dynamics are, if you get married into a conservative family or not, you are marrying the guy, okay? Everything's gonna happen, all the conversations, all the decisions, all your feelings, if you have kids, everything that happens in the marriage is between two people. It's fine if you're close with your family. It's fine if your parents have influence on your marriage. It's fine. Just don't let them make all the decisions. Don't let them make all the shots.
And I think that's where the boundaries come in, right?
Yeah.
And that's why boundaries have to be set before marriage, not, you know, during marriage. And the thing is, culturally, I feel like setting boundaries is a very hard thing to do because it's a mentality you're fighting where it's instilled in our parents or in their generation. And it's very important to, you know, be like, you know, yes, we married into each other's families, but the marriage is you and I, and that's it. But at the end of the day, your first decision and your final decision should be with your spouse, period.
Yeah. And ladies, if you find a mama's boy, run. Like, straight up. That's the most important advice that I'm giving you. If you find a mama's boy, you run. Don't think that you can change him, because
that ain't never gonna happen.
That's never gonna happen.
I just want to say this as far as marrying a mama's boy. I think that mama's boys are not adults.
Yeah, mama's boys never grow up.
They're not men.
Yeah.
They're gonna be babies then because they've been babies their whole life, and they're gonna be babies forever.
So that sums it up for realities of a young Desi couple, at least from our perspective. Thank you guys so much for giving me this video idea and telling me these topics. If you guys have any more topics, please let me know in the comment section below, and we'll make another video for you guys for it. There's some other videos that I wanted to make in addition to this, kind of start like a little series almost of being a young Desi couple, because I know that there's so much that I have to talk about, things to talk about before getting married, the realities of being married, and just, you know, this stuff in general. There's so much. Like, this is just scratching the surface on all of the realities. And, you know, we could go into so much more detail, but then we'd be sitting here forever. So we're not going to do that. But if you have any other, like, subtopics, please let me know in the comment section below. We had a lot of fun making this video for you guys. And, yeah, do you have anything to add?
Well, make sure that you hit the thumbs up and you don't forget to subscribe. It literally takes a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And support Hamna Glam out here.
Support Hamnish fam too.
And Hamnish fam as well. Yeah. Right. We'll see you guys in our next video.
Alright, bye.